So how you been?
I've been pretty good, man. Just moved into college. I'm in the dorm right now.
Oh
It's
yeah.
pretty good.
How is it? You go to college? Huh? What are you going to college for?
Right now, the way I got it set up, I'm majoring in accounting and then going on to law.
That's very cool. That's great. Oh, fantastic. Good for you. I thought you were going to
Yeah.
be a TikTok professional. That's that.
I thought so too, man. But it got, I don't know the word. It's tiring. It's tiring.
It is exhausting. I think once like all the tensions riled down after people went back to work and with the whole George Floyd thing, and it's like very calm now. I think, and it's just not.
Yeah.
It's not something that even I like to really do. I have a my main account got like banned for a little bit, and now it's like on low priority. I just used it to plug my YouTube because I do the same thing I used to do on TikTok on YouTube. Like I have a ton of videos just going through. Like I'm gonna be releasing a video tonight about the vegan teacher and Joe Rope's feud together. I went live on stream with that, but like, and then I use my main account to shitpost because, like, I'm not trying to, and I did commentate on this, and then I don't know if you did you apply for the partnership program or whatever.
Yes, yes. I actually got my second partnership through that yesterday.
Oh, so you got your thing. Oh no, did you apply for like the creator fund? I mean.
Yes, I applied for that too.
Yeah. See, I got denied on my main, so I was like, why am I going to use this account? But my alt got accepted, so I'm like, I might as well use my. Yeah, very weird. I don't know. It's bizarre. I think it's because I got like those spam like reports and whatever. So it is what it is. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So it could always be worse. That's the way I'm looking at it. But I'm vibing, man. I'm enjoying YouTube and Twitch a lot more than TikTok. TikTok feels very toxic, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I've stepped back and I've started to look. I haven't posted I've posted maybe one video every 2 or 3 days, and I've just sat back and just really watched the community in which I've immersed myself in, and I realized the extreme toxicity that's just in there.
Yup.
It's a lot of I'm right, you're wrong, and if you prove me wrong, I'm not even going to listen to you. I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing because I don't want to be wrong because of my followers. I don't want them to think that I'm wrong.
Right. Yeah. I think that too. Like now that everything's settled down, it feels even more toxic because now people are just forcing it. They're really just forcing controversy just for the sake of making content. So it's like I don't even like it right now. I haven't really done any of the controversial crap because it just feels like over it a little bit. I mean, I did comment on this, but it sucks that people like force themselves to create issues just so that they can have views and stuff on TikTok. It's bizarre.
It's a really weird place. Like right now, like you said, everything's like settled down, and it's not like the content is just not there. Like it's I don't know how to explain it. The content I'll be looking at my mentions, and the videos that I usually get like maybe 2 3 months ago, there was just piles and piles of videos coming in. It's slowed up. Like it's just not there anymore.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing. I think it's because people aren't as bored anymore, and it's nice to get the toxicity off there. But for like creators like you and me, it's like a little like, what do we do now? What are we supposed to do now? It just
I might start dancing.
honestly maybe I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start having fun. Like I just react to comments on my new video, and then I'll do a couple of videos here and there if I feel like good about them, and like I just have fun because like it's not like a good atmosphere for like commentators right now. Either you're gonna force it and you're gonna look stupid, or you're gonna sit back and you're gonna be intelligent about it and you're not gonna gain traction. So I try to just kind of chill. And people keep telling me to do the WAP dance, but I'm just never going to be able to learn it. I might try. We'll think about it. I tried yesterday. I did a little bit of it. I'm like, oh, I can't do a split.
I got that same request, and I was looking. I was like, the views is looking low right now. Might have to go do it.
Yeah, right. Might have to have a fun little thing and just do a little thing. Yeah, they want you to do the WAP too. Everybody in my chat's like, oh, do the WAP a little easy. Yeah, no, it's something. But yeah, TikTok feels weird, and then they shifted the algorithm right as like maybe a couple weeks ago, and now it feels like weird stuff is hitting. Weird. Like we're seeing 18 million views on that one girl just bobbing her head, and it's like, wow.
Yes.
Like I know that's always been TikTok, kind of, but it's never been TikTok. It just seems like they're really trying to push the dancing and the music and stuff now with the advertisers here. I think they're trying to make it like more politically correct. Because I've been getting weird videos removed lately, bizarre videos.
it looks almost reminiscent of what YouTube was doing back, was it 2016? How they started
Yeah.
pushing back on the controversial stuff and started pushing less controversial stuff. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I think it is. And like YouTube has gotten like I think better now. Because they adjusted to like all the controversy, but like TikTok's just fine in their way, and like weird videos are getting pulled down. Even still, like there was a video of soap, this German soap. It was a video of like it was the exterior or the outside layer was like a bar of soap, and then inside was liquid soap, and it was like, look at this is cool, and I duetted to it. I'm like, well, why would you need that? But like that core video got pulled down for community guideline violation, and I'm like, for what? Is it because it's like an advertisement? It was very confusing.
That's weird.
It's
That is
very
weird.
It's very very weird. It's very weird. So, the
I
hell.
think, is TikTok gonna stay up? Because last I heard, nobody's bought it yet, and it's about 25 days left on it.
Yeah,
So is it gonna stay around?
I don't know. It's it's to me it's an advertisement app. So like if it goes, it'll be a little upsetting, but whatever. But I don't know. I feel like, excuse me. With the whole, what is it, Creator Fund?
Yeah.
I feel like TikTok's trying to like finesse something where they put like a Trump in a position, because like when Trump said like, "Hey, sell or you're gone," I think he knows that like if he really just gets rid of TikTok, that's a lot of revenue for the United States, and that's a lot of people working. There's like 1,000 or 1 or 2,000 people that work specifically for TikTok in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's a lot of people who use TikTok as like an advertisement app and like a platform. There's so many people that I've talked to that are just like this is their job.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it is to an extent. But I'm on Twitch mostly, so like I would, I'll be okay. But it kind of feels like they're trying to strong arm the situation and say like, oh, because they're giving a lot of money. It's way too much money in my opinion. So it seems like they're trying to say like, hey, if you buy us out, you're going to have to pay all these creators. Because if you look at it, you don't get paid until 30 days after the end of the month. Yeah. So this August money, you're not going to see until the end of, I guess, really October. Beginning of October. Yeah. So it seems like it's like, hey, earn money for us, and then whoever picks it up is going to have to float that bill. And so people aren't going to want to do it, and then this app's just going to go under. Or rather, Trump's going to be like, okay, I guess TikTok has to stay now, because nobody's going to buy it. So that's what it feels like.
If TikTok, uh, I think it depends if Trump comes back. If Trump doesn't come back and old buddy Biden comes in, I think TikTok will stay. But if Trump comes back, I think TikTok might go.
Yeah, well, I understand why he doesn't like TikTok. Because like when they were Musically, they were found to like legitimately taking the information of like 13 and younger year old kids like and selling it. Very weird. So they say that there's really good they have specific United States servers, this and the other thing. Maybe that's true, but like I understand the skepticism, and frankly a lot of other countries are just going after China because like I think that like India banned it because of something that happened in India, and it was China's fault, and they were just trying to take a shot at China. I don't remember what it was.
Is it a border? It was a border thing? A border dispute?
It might have been. I think they might have killed somebody. I don't really know. I don't really remember. But it was something, so they're just trying to like mess around. I don't know. It seems like a shot. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
If TikTok does go away, at the end of the day, it's just an app. I'm not gonna lose too much sleep over it. I'm gonna miss my people, but lately, especially with the videos I've been posting lately, I just saw my whole following turn against me, and it was a really weird feeling.
I heard something about that. I heard like you basically just made like you said like something a little more progressive, and people just shit on you for it.
I think it started the way I see it. The timeline went that I made a video basically replying to the conservative hype house video. I think the dude's name is Cam. He showed a picture of Trump holding up a pride flag, and it was like basically like insinuated the claim that Trump wasn't homophobic because he held that flag. And I said, well, just to show that piece of evidence by itself is insufficient because politicians, they'll do photo ops for public image.
Sure, yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that the politician believes in what they're holding. And so I think I said something along the lines of actions speak louder than whatever object you're holding. And then somebody else in the conservative hype came at me and said, well, holding an object is an action. And I was like, that's
it's petty.
Right? Yeah, it's the same thing as words speak louder than actions speak louder than words. Words is still an action, but you understand what I'm trying to get at. So then that happened, and then I posted another video. I think it was a video of me. Oh, I replied to some. I guess the girl, I don't know, for lack of a better term, a Trump girl. She came on there and she said
a Trump girl. I like that.
A Trump girl. She came on there and she said, I think it was like a video saying she wouldn't let her son wear makeup or go to a pride parade. And I was like, well, what? I just came on there asking, like, what is your logical reasoning for not allowing your older son to do an event like that?
Well, how old was her son?
It was never specified. I was talking about older son, but
right.
I guess he never specified anything about her video. So that might have been a misunderstanding. People might have thought I was talking about a younger kid when I was talking about older teen. I made that video, and there was a whole bunch of backlash on that one. And then I think the last video was, let me see. It was, it was a video talking about like affordable birth control. And I was like, what's the reasoning behind no affordable birth control? And I would look through the comments on those videos, and I would just see so many of my followers saying, I missed, with no actual like proof.
Yeah.
Like, how did I miss? Could you tell me how?
Yeah, but what
So,
it's
weird to me.
It's annoying when like they tell you that you missed, but it's not for things that you like miss on. It's so weird. They're just like, you missed on this one. It's like, well, I didn't really make an opinion. I kind of just stated a fact, but it's not a conservative opinion, so it happens. A lot of, everybody's the same. They're all like weak-minded. They like think that, like, if you, God forbid, you go against what they say, they melt down over it. It's very difficult to take a position, but you feel like you kind of have to. You kind of have to take those positions, or else you're just like somebody who panders to people. And like, I like people in the conservative hype house for sure. They're not bad people, but like they are people who generally just will always take a conservative take regardless. It's not really, and like I could see why. It's just what they do. It's what everybody does. They want to stay popular, so they pander and
Yeah, and I've seen some people will say that they'll say that my channel's lack structure, or because I don't like, people would think I can see it now, but people thought I was a conservative because I went after mostly leftists. But then I stepped back and I realized what they were saying, because I used to just attack and say no, I'm leftist. Just because I do this doesn't mean that I'm conservative. But I stepped back and I realized, like, what I'm putting out, it puts out the wrong message. So I tried to diversify who I went after. And I guess my core audience was, if I'm going to be honest with myself, it was alt-right, because of the whole George Floyd BLM movement back in June. So because I grew that following, it came back to bite me when I tried to diversify who I went after. Because I wasn't posting as much, I saw a nosedive in my following. I lost like 2,000 followers after the first video I posted, and I was like, this is really weird. Like, I've never seen my following do that. I was used to gaining 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 a day.
Right.
Then one day I look at my analytics, it's nosedive 2,000. That's really weird. But I was like, if I don't make some people mad, then I'm not being true to myself, because I can't be on here and make everybody happy, because that's not me. I'm not gonna make you happy. I'm gonna say what I believe, and if you don't like it, well then so be it.
No, right. I mean, I respect that, because a lot of people won't do that. They won't do that at all. They'll just continue to say whatever they have to say. Like, honestly, I'm seeing Joe Rove falling into that trap. He's fallen into the trap of, like, saying what he feels like he needs to say. He's had a lot of bad takes, in my opinion, lately. And, now he's, like, his vegan teacher whole debacle. I don't know if you're up to date on any of it.
A lot of videos. I've not watched those.
Him and the vegan teacher going at it, like, so stupid. Like, basically, she made a claim that, like, if you're vegan, you have to be an advocate for veganism. You can't just be vegan. Because somebody was like, hey, I'm vegan, but, like, you're a little too intense. So she's like, no, you have to do this, blah, blah, blah. So Joe Rove shot back and said, no, that's not the definition of vegan. It was like, okay, that's a fine point. Then she kind of changed the narrative to, like, why do you care so much? Because she's like, I've seen a lot of your content. And she was even like, I like your content. And she's like, but why you talk about sexual assault all the time, but you seem to be fine with, like, with animals getting assaulted. And, like, she has a point there. Like, to make milk, they have to, like, constantly keep cows pregnant. And like she has a point, and like it's an uncomfortable point, but she's not inherently wrong. And then he's like, "How dare you compare breeding animals to?" And it's like she's not. Breeding dogs, first of all, I guess there's an argument there that they could be abused, but like not really. But she's not talking about breeding dogs. She's talking about animals being forcefully inseminated. And it's like you just melted down on her decent point, and now you lost in my eyes. But he's just going to keep going. Now she's going at her because she said, if your religion says that you have to kill animals, just change your religion. And it's like a weird point, but okay. And he took offense to it because he's very religious. And it's just like, he's just going off a deep end, man. And he's like, he gained so much traction, but I just kind of feel like he's going to start falling off.
Has he responded to your proposal to play Fall Guys?
No, he hasn't. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised, but like, who knows, man? Why wouldn't he? He takes things too seriously. I feel like he actually hates me.
A Joe Rogan Papa Gut podcast is what we need.
Oh,
that right there would be what I would tune into.
That would be something, man. I'd be fine with it. It would be fun. I don't hate the guy at all. I feel a little bad for him, but I don't hate him. But he's...
I understand what he tries to do. I understand where he's coming from. He might go about it, or a different way, a weird way, but I understand what he's trying to do.
You know what it is? It's like he has decent takes, and then he always needs to like rap away where it's like a guy's fault. Like he's very anti-male. It's very weird. It's like annoying because I went through a video and he had a video. It was of this girl. It was a stupid joke too, and he like melted down over it. Whatever. This girl made a joke about how her ex got fat. She used like an audio. And it was like, oh, we got fat. And it was like kind of funny. It was like a little bit of a dig. Her ex got a little fat. And he's like, this is inappropriate. This, that, and the other thing. I'm like, okay, fine. And at the end of the video, he's like, ladies, I know men do it first, but that's no excuse to do it back. And I'm like, why did that have to be a thing? You have to make sure that like the men are like the target here. And then with the whole situation with Izu's like, him taking his life, bad take on that as well. Just a lot of bad takes all around. And, like, again, like, he has a decent perspective, but, like, once it gets hit with something a little complicated, he can't handle it. He can't.
Once Izu hit TikTok, that was a weird time. That was weird. What's her name? Sister Brianna?
Yeah.
That whole thing was really, really weird. Oof.
Yeah, a lot of bad takes on the situation. Everybody had to, like, bring it back. It had to be a war. It was a war. It was like, who's more right, the victims of assault or the victims of fake allegations? And it's like, Jesus.
Gender war again.
Yeah, it's like, it's always something. And then, you get the whole, kill all men, and then it's exhausting almost.
That's why I stepped back. I really had to step back. I had to look at it. I was like, the amount of time that I was spending on that app, it was surprising. I would be in my comment section fighting with people, and I was like, at the end of the day, even if I change this one person's mind, there'll still be 10, 100, 1,000 other people that think like this. So what is me changing this one person's mind really gonna do? And so I think my little brother said something really funny to me. He said, "Emgrit, you're really losing in all this because who is winning in this situation? The person who spent 15 seconds spewing BS, or you, the person who's taken 20 minutes to go research these topics and post it on your platform? Who's really winning? Who's really winning?" I was like, "You're right on that,
Yeah, no.
So I had to stand back and I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah, you get caught up in it. Especially, excuse me. Sorry, I'm tired. Especially when like the people who generally validate you are just like no longer validating you. And it's like, I've been there too. Like, I'm not even, like, I've been there. People are like, oh, this is a bad take. It's like, why? What are you just... And at this point, I'm just like, leave me alone. I don't even care anymore. Like, I had a follower today. He's like, Papa, I'm really losing a lot of respect for you because all you do is plug your YouTube. And I made a video and I said, first of all, on my main account, yeah, I plug when I'm on Twitch. And then when I make a video on YouTube deconstructing a TikTok, I clip it and put it on there. Because I'm doing the same content on YouTube that I was doing on TikTok, but I have a longer form. And I'm like, I don't want to use that account. I don't want to grow it anymore because, frankly, it's not monetized. So why would I waste my time doing that? And I said, I'm having fun on this new account. I do stupid things, and then I'll occasionally make other content. And then, what was the point? Because like he was just like wrong. It's just like, whatever, man. And there's a bunch of other stuff. Like the vegan teacher, I came out and I said I defended her at the end with the Joe Rogan thing, and then they're just like, you missed, Papa. I'm like, I didn't. But, alright, it's just your opinion, bro. It is what it is. But I think it's something to be worth just, like, trying to figure something out fun to do. I don't know, man. Just
It
taking
was
a
fun. I can't even lie. It was fun at the start. I came on there after a whole George. No, I think it was before George Floyd. I think my first video delving into the whole community was some girl said if you don't like female rappers, you're misogynistic. And ever since that video, you know, it was fun. George Floyd happened, and I was going.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just lost. It lost its luster.
Yeah, I think it did for most people. I think the only person doing it well is Freak the Gemini. I don't know how he does it, but like I don't even know how he does it, man. I like Freak. It's just like he's still going. Like he goes hard on these people, and like I just don't have the anger in me to do it. You know?
He's a fighter.
Yeah, he is a fighter, man. I'm just like, oh, I can't handle it anymore. I'm part of society, man. I just want to take a step back, but he finds shit. Like I never used to find stuff. He finds good stuff. I don't want to look for it.
I like to come to me. I just want it to be here. I don't want to go out of my way.
Yeah, right. And like, I don't want to go out of my way. I never really used to. I would find it on my For You page relatively quickly because everything was flooded with "I hate men," so it was easy as hell to do. And then like now, when I see a bad take, a lot of times I don't say anything. I'll just bring it on here. It's more fun. It's easier to sit back and take your time. And the stitches are gone too, so now I got to sit here. The stitches, getting rid of the stitches was like the first.
Yes.
It was the first hit. It was the stitch. Oh shit, we lost them.
Good?
Yeah, you're good.
Am I
You're
good?
good. You're good. You're good.
All right, like I was saying, the stitches. Once that went away, that like you said, that was a start because the way it was like, I could take 5 seconds. I could still talk about that video and like not have it take too much of my video because now I have to put enough context from that video for my video to make sense because people don't go and look at that video.
Right, yeah.
Really
Well, it's impossible to. It's impossible. Well, you make a video and all of a sudden, a week later, somebody hits their For You page and is like, what the hell is this guy talking about? It was so much better. Stitches were great. They got rid of that. Then they shifted the algorithm. Then I got like banned for a week, and then it just kept going. It's just, you know, TikTok is. I think they're trying to get rid of like the politics and the commentary.
It's working.
It is working. It is working. For the most part, it is. You know.
I even understand why you go to YouTube because that minute format, especially with Stitches gone, you can't take your time with stuff. Like it's more prone to make a mistake somewhere or not be able to convey something in the proper way in like 45 seconds. It's impossible sometimes.
Sorry. Oh yeah, absolutely. And honestly, man, YouTube is better anyway. You know,
I was thinking about switching my content onto there, but I was thinking, I don't know. I'm in college now. I've moved. If I go to YouTube right now,
it's a commitment, man. Like if you're doing something else in your life, you might as well have fun with TikTok. For me, like I'm taking a risk. I quit my job for this.
Really?
Yeah, I've been making enough money on Twitch to say, okay, I'm gonna take the risk. I quit the job. I had a decent job. I quit that to do this, and so like now it's very much like my field. So I'm on TikTok, and I'll say some fun stuff, and then I'll be like, hey guys, I'm gonna do this tonight. And then I have like a solid like following that like really likes to like sit and like listen to the deconstructions, and then we play video games after. And it goes pretty well. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Good luck, man. I need to see Papa hit a mill on YouTube. That's
oh my god, I don't even know. What am I at right now? I'm nowhere near it. I don't know if I'll ever hit a mill. That would be nuts. I would get that like badge. That would be fun.
A little plaque. You know
yeah. I think you went for 100K. I have 44,000 followers. So
you're coming up on the next plaque. You're coming up on the first plaque.
Yeah, I think so. I think if that's how if it works like that, yes, I believe
it should be 100K and then 1 million. That's how it should be.
Is it?
It's the silver plaque, if I'm not mistaken. And then gold plaque is 1 million, and then diamond plaque is like 10 million.
Really? Oh shit! Let me see. That's crazy.
Isn't it? That's how it should be.
Yeah, you're right. 100K subs, then 1 million, and then 10 mil. That's nuts. I would take a silver plaque. That would be fun.
I mean, you hang it up behind you right there above the ladder, and it is straight.
I was just reading it, and it said shipping. I'm like, are you going to make me pay for shipping for this thing? But that'd be awesome, man. Imagine that. Oh, that'd be cool. But I never thought of that. Now it's like a weird, like, tingly goal. Yeah. Now you set me up for these feelings, right?
Man, I'm waiting on it, man. I need to see it.
Yeah, let's hope. slowly but surely. So, but yeah, I have a bunch of stuff on there. Like I have a whole video that just talks about Joe Robe, Roma Army, and Siege Janover, stuff like that. That's what I do. I stick it mostly to TikTok because I mean that's my field of expertise, and I do a little political stuff. Yeah, it's fun. It's cool. It's nice to get off TikTok a little bit. It's a little toxic, so.
Yeah, once, like you said, once Stitches went away, and once I started, like, again, watching everybody and seeing how everybody acted once a video was made on them or someone's ideas was challenged in the way they pushed back on it, I really realized that people, like you said, they're weak-minded. I used to be naive and think that conservatives were more tolerant of people's beliefs, but even that was wrong.
No, it's not. They're the same. The difference is that they're getting hit so much that like it looks like they're tolerant because there's nothing conservatives can do. It's just it's weird. Yeah, no. It's conservatives are just as bad though. It's everybody's like kind of bad, man. You know.
Yeah. What really irks me about all this is that I really, when I first started, I really thought that community, had my back. But once Nick video happened, something didn't sit with me when they did what they did in Nick videos. That did not sit with me well at all.
They did not like Nick videos, man. They really did not like Nick. I don't even know what the hell's going on with Nick because he's always in some kind of weird controversy about something, and like now so many times where he like inappropriately talks to women, and
I think his latest one was, what was that girl, Hannah? Was it?
Maybe. I don't really know. I don't know. My take on the whole thing, it's every single time that because I talked to another one of the girls he talked to. I don't want to get into like who it is, but every time it happens, it seems to be like he approaches them and like he's a little aggressive, of course. Like not of course, like it's inappropriate, but they never say like no, and he never necessarily crosses a hard line. So like he's like, hey, how are you? Like, what's up? Like, do you like want to talk? Whatever. And they never say like, no, I'm not interested, Nick. That's and every time you bring something like that up, they'll say, well, you're victim blaming. And I'm like, not for nothing, but like we're talking about a normal dating ritual of somebody showing interest and then other people, saying yes or no. In every situation, he shows interest and none of them say no. So he keeps going and being a little pushy. And like that's not sexual assault. When you equate everything to sexual assault, all you're doing is diminishing what sexual assault is. You can't decide everything is like the biggest issue in the entire world. And that's what they seem to do, and like I feel bad. A lot of these young girls, and there are a lot of liberal girls. Funny enough, he always goes for like these liberal girls. They're a little bit weak-minded, and they get a little bit too upset by stuff. And it's like if you want to be in like the political field, man, like you got to toughen up,
I think he's in college now. He's like me. He just moved into college, so I hope that whips him into shape.
Yeah, I don't. I'm supposed to talk to him at some point too, but he's like disappeared and he has like a weird hairstyle. I don't like it.
You talking about his curls?
Yeah, I don't like him, man. It doesn't fit his face,
I miss the little flow he had. I'm not gonna lie, but he has a little line on him now.
No, he doesn't. Does he really? Did he go?
Yeah,
oh,
he has a little line.
That's nuts. Let me see.
Look at it. I think it's most recent. It's him in the mirror. You can see his little line right here. Okay, Nick, go ahead.
Oh my God! Hold on. I'm pulling this up over the screen. What is this? Mute it. What the hell? What is this? What is he wearing? Oh! Oh my God! I saw the line, dude. He's a kid in school, man. He's a kid in school. More power to him.
I wish him luck.
The color's nice. The pure black color wasn't feeling that. He's thirst trapping hard. I think he's feeling himself a little too hard.
The chain, the earrings, he got her down.
The line is too big, man. The line is like huge. He might as well be as bald as me now, and it's in a different spot. He's a nice guy though. Nick was like that weird. That was a weird time, man. Because when I was still growing up on this app, Nick was like 300 and something K, and like he was like the boss to beat. Everybody's like, oh, Nick videos, like, and then we kind of realized that he was like a little bit. It was like, like he was just another one. I don't know what the hell. I don't know. And then he blocked me at one point because I asked him about why his duets were off twice, and then he got really upset and he blocked me, and then he unblocked me when I hit like 400K, and then
watched his video. I'm not, numbers. If you talk straight numbers, his whole account really. I don't know what happened, but his account, that the engagement rate on the account just really, peeled off. It would be like 44,000, only 4,000 likes, and I always was confused about what was happening. Like I don't know, but he just went under 300K. He went from 350K. He's like 299K. I don't know what happened.
That's weird, man. Because like I feel like if your content peters off a little bit, people don't remove you. They just stop. They don't care about you, so they leave you in there. So like I feel like, but like he must like people must have really not liked that he changed his perspective.
And after those 3 videos he dropped saying why he didn't like Trump or whatever, I saw so many videos of people bashing on Nick. I was like, that's really weird. The tolerant right was what I thought for a long time, but that was wrong. So once I saw all those videos go out on him, I realized like these communities, they don't like you unless they really don't like you unless you say what they want you to say.
Honestly, it's true.
Have you seen the videos going around?
Like the Gucci,
yeah.
I don't really understand why people are so upset by it. I think some people just want to be triggered. I don't know, because like I get like
you said before, they're trying to do something now since everything's petered off. They're trying to start something.
Yeah, absolutely. It's true. They can't. They don't know what to make content about anymore. So they just like, oh, what do I say? Nobody wants to hear it anymore.
That right there, that hit home.
Yeah.
I'll open up my For You page, and because I'm politics, or used to be politics, or still am, whatever.
Spamming
That's
me
what I see on my
about
For You page, and I just turn it off now. I not that I don't care, but I've just realized that Trump doesn't pay my bills. Trump doesn't pay my college tuition. Trump won't study for my test. He won't do anything for me.
You get so caught up in all this crap too. Oh, it sucks. But no, it doesn't matter. And especially for you, man. Like, you're not even, like... It's overrated, this TikTok crap. And there's so many people, like myself included, that got popular, and I feel like TikTok is like a wet noodle. Like, what did it really do? And, like, I'm happy for all the success that I have, but, like, I'm not, like... All dumb luck, in my opinion. Dumb luck, and you have so many kids who have so many followers, and they think
you figured out the way. You got 1 million. You figured it out. I wouldn't say it's dumb. Like I say, you did it, man.
I got lucky, but still, I feel like it's all luck, man. And like you got all these kids that like they aren't necessarily talented, and they get lucky they get big on TikTok, and then they get like monetized somehow. And it's like, what did you really do? Like you're not. It's like, what did you make? It's
that renegade dance really put thousands into kids' pockets.
Yeah. At least they dance. TikTok is so weird, man. It's just so weird to me. I don't know. And
a long time I thought I figured out the algorithm, but I still don't know it.
They changed it so much. They changed it. The algorithm right now is like where it's going to take unless you have a mega hit, it's going to take forever for your content to hit. I put videos of my main account's like very low on the priority pool because of the bans. Like it's not shadow ban, but it's like they have priority levels. I think there's 7. That's my understanding of it. I'm very low, so I put up a video and it had like 30K, and then it's been a week and now it's up to like 300K, and it's like okay, it takes so long to hit. They probably plug the big stuff first that like makes views, and then they think, okay, we'll throw Papa Gut in there. Nobody's watching anything right now, so whatever. But it's kind of freeing for me because like now I have the new account. I don't really get traction on my old account, and it's nice to not care about the following count anymore. Because there was a time where when I was creeping up to 1 million, that I was like watching it like a hawk. I was like, when am I gonna hit it? And then I hit a mil, and I think less than a week later, I got the temporary ban for a week because. Do you know who Nathaniel Lotus is?
T. Nathan, yes.
Yeah, T. Nathan. My understanding was that he called his Discord to mass report me, and that's what got me my 1 week post ban. He had made. You know who Chloe the Conservative is? She's not like really very big. She's not. She doesn't have great takes, admittedly. But he called her a racist. He called her a racist and inbred, and like she was being very rude. And then I was like, listen, I don't think she's racist. I think that she just doesn't get it. And, like, when you do that, you're just demonizing her. It's not going to help anybody. You're not helping her understand. You're just appealing to your audience for fun. And he took offense to that. you know, yada yada yada. Then somebody, I got banned for a week. I'm like, whatever. And then somebody was like, yeah, he had his Discord raid you and mass report you, and I was like, oh, okay. What are you gonna do? Like, and I just don't even bother. He's not really somebody that needs to even be on the radar, to be honest with you, because he's a little bit weird. I don't know if you like him. That's fine if you do, but he's a little out there.
I think I back with the whole what's his name, Rashard Brooks thing when that everything happened. I know if you know his name, Topher.
Is
Topher
that
Town Music?
Yeah. Okay, yes. I know Topher Town Music.
Topher Town and T Nathan are like, you know, enemies. So I remember I inserted myself. T Nathan said something. I inserted myself, made a video. I think it was about some sort of verbiage used on the article about Rashard Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, me and him, you know, we chat a little bit. He's a little weird. He's an old man. I'll let him do him. But yeah, you're right. He's a little weird.
He's just a little weird.
That whole thing happened, and when Topher came up to me and he was like, you know, he's one of those people that you would quote unquote pander. He has I don't know what to call the militant black, you know, sect of TikTok. That's who follows him. Mm-hmm. Those people right there are the really angry.
They follow who?
They follow T Nathan.
Yeah. Okay. Really angry. Yeah, for sure. I could see why he would appeal to those individuals.
Those people. That's who like him, and that's who he makes videos for.
Yeah. You know, well, that's what happens when you get caught up in the chain, and all of a sudden you're getting particular people like in your content. When I had the same issue when I was on Big American Gut. That was my first account, and I had like similar content. I would just like make social takes and, you know, call people out, like, kind of, but like it got mean at one point. So like, because they were liking the stuff where I would go after fat girls, and then like that's what got me shadow banned like really hard. And then I was like, damn. And then I was happy it happened because, like, I was being mean. Like, at first, the whole narrative is like, listen, I don't like the new age thing where we pander to, like, overweight people and tell them that they're healthy when they're not. Because I find it very dangerous because I'm overweight and I'm 30. And it has a negative impact on your health. Once you hit 25, like, that's when you start going downhill. Like, almost immediately. It's bizarre. And, you know, it went from, like, calling out, like, the disingenuous fat positivity movement, and it got like a little mean, and so, like, you know, you get lost in it. I'm happy I got shadow banned because I recreated my account, and then now I think that I have a solid balance between commentary and, like, you know, but still you get lost in it, and like I don't necessarily blame him for that. Everybody does it. Everybody gets lost in the fame. It's easy, and like I
think you see what works and you just keep doing it. Like, I remember I saw what worked for me was the Black Lives Matter videos. Every time I post something like that, 100K, 200K, 300K views. And I just kept pumping them out because they worked. And I really had to step back and I had to ask myself, am I doing this because I believe what I'm saying, what I do, or am I doing this because it's giving me views? And so I started, you know, trying to diversify, because I was like, if I come on here and keep saying the same stuff over and over again, that's not really fair to me. It's not fair to my audience, because I'm just telling them the same stuff that they want to hear. I don't want to do that. I want to challenge people who watch my videos. So if I keep saying the same stuff that they want to hear, I'm doing all of us a disservice.
Yeah, no. And either way, it's going to die out anyway. Eventually, people are just going to be like, I don't care anymore. Like, what
Black Lives Matter, I heard that 40 times. What is
Yeah, I get that. You know, I remember talking about that stuff, too. It was, like, really trendy to talk about, like, race issues. And, like, I remember Fat Raccoon. You know who she is? And, like, she blocked me because she was like, oh, you can't be racist towards white people. And, like, I was like, no, you can. And then, like, I said you can, and I talked about systemic racism versus individualized racism, and then she blocked me, and she's like, your followers are toxic, and it's like, probably, but so are hers.
You actually explained that to me. That's how I got mine. You explained it to me in such a way that I finally understood, because I always knew that you could be racist to white people, but I didn't know how to convey it correctly. And so when you explained the macro versus micro racism, that really hit with me. So I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
I've been using that myself. You know, I'd explain to people who would say that you can't be racist to white people, and they'd be like, you know, you're right on that one. There is a difference between macro and micro.
Yeah, that's how I separate it. I have like I did a whole thing because Caitlin Bennett. But I reviewed her. That's where like I really was able to like unfold the whole like narrative what I was trying to talk about. Because like again, micro versus macro, like systemic racism. Of course, white people can't be targeted by systemic racism. you know. But on individual level, like if I hit you because you're black, it's racist just in the same way that you hit me that I'm white. And then I remember a girl, very intelligent, I forget her name. She's a somewhat small content creator on TikTok. She made the point of like, you know, there's more of a reason for black people to be racist towards white people. And then I was like, yeah, but you know what? Like if like race aside, if I hit a guy in the face, that's assault. And then I was like, but if I hit a guy in the face because he slept with my wife, still assault. But you know why I hit him in the face. And that's how I would compare it. It's still assault. But nothing positive comes out of saying you can't be racist towards white people. The only two things that happen is there's one, you're just demonizing white people, which doesn't help, because I would make the argument that most white people or want the equality, or they don't care. Like, they're just like, okay, whatever. I say that there's a relatively small, like, vocal racist, you know, individuals. But then the other thing it does is it sets white people to a higher standard. You're just saying, like, yeah, white people, police your words, walk on eggshells, do better, but black people, no, don't do that. And, like, that's very uncomfortable. I feel like it promotes white supremacy in a way. And it doesn't help. And then the other way around, there's no benefit to telling black people that they can effectively harass white people with, you know, with no consequence. It doesn't help.
If you really think about it, it could really be destructive, because then somebody over here thinks they have a free pass to go do whatever because, you know, I can't be racist.
Exactly. It doesn't help at all. It really doesn't. It doesn't do anything better for anybody, you know. And I understand the emotion associated with some people who like are legitimately like targeted by like, and marginalized very heavily, why they'd be angry. But I noticed a trend on TikTok that there are particular people in any identity group, like, you know, black, or they're a woman, anything, that they, or LGBT, that they legitimately have experienced like really like harsh bigotry targeted against them in some capacity, or some hardship associated with their identity. And it's like it's a small, it's a small, well, it's a minority of people who have it, and they talk about it, and then they talk about it in a way that's very demonizing of like all of the counter people, and so like it's like these few women talk about how they hate men because men have like legitimately hurt them, and then you have all these other young girls like, yeah, me too, because this guy once said a rude thing to me, maybe, and it's like you have all these people, and if you contest it, if I say, hey, this video really makes me feel like you weren't assaulted, because there was this trend that lasted a day of girls dancing, but they go, oh, this is the person that sexually harassed me, it's like, or assaulted me. It's like, I don't believe that, because I've dated so many women who've experienced this. I've talked to so many men and women who've experienced it, and they've never expressed themselves in that way before, in a fun-loving way. And it's just like, but you call it out, and now you're a dick.
That whole trend, I saw it. I remember I DM'd your video, but I was like, this is kind of weird. I haven't experienced that, so I don't want to speak for them. But if I were to put myself in those shoes, I don't think that would be something that I would do. Not to say that that's not something for them to do, because again, it's their life. Let them do them. But it was just a really weird way to go about expressing something like that.
Yeah, I agree. Like, honestly, it's uncomfortable, and then if you talk about it, talk against it, you're like, no, you're a bad person. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, what? Now we're at a point where I can't even ask a question. It's like a believe all, whatever. Believe all women, right? Rather than listen to all victims is what I say, man. You know, it makes more sense to me. It makes sense. You know?
I like that better.
It just makes sense, man. Honestly. But yeah, I don't know. Fucked up now.
Yeah.
So I have a question. How did you feel about Nick Foster getting banned?
I saw that hurt me, because that hurt. That hurts.
It hit you?
I like Nick. I like Nick. Me and him were mutuals. That was my guy right there. It hurts. But I think he has a podcast now on YouTube, so I subbed. I had to sub to my guy.
Yeah, I talked to him on Monday. We were talking about it. I'm gonna try. I might go on his podcast. But like, yeah, it was so. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. Honestly, I like Nick too. Like, I don't like his content all the time, but I like Nick. And I get what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like, I would have done that like 5 years ago if I was like a content creator. But like now, I'm not even like mature. It's nothing to do with maturity. But like, my life has gone in a direction where like I like jokes, but like I have a limit. You know, and like, I don't like, I mean, dark humor is funny in between friends. I don't know if it belongs on TikTok. He does him. Like, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying I don't like it. So, but like, I don't know. I'm surprised that he got banned after me. That's all I'm saying.
But he got perma-banned, right?
Yeah, well, I got perma-banned too. They just reversed mine.
But he, for as it stands right now,
He's done.
He's not,
Yeah. His secondary account's
wow.
okay. He's got like 350 on his secondary account. But you know, I think the same thing happened to him that happens to like everybody. Is that you know you do really well with a particular style of content, and then like you just push it a little too hard, and then it just doesn't. It's just not right, and it's like you're looking for that reaction, and things are a little boring because that's what happened. Like I would be in like spirals of like I'd have like 15 to 20 videos a day, not even exaggerating, and I'm on fire. And then you get those days where like something's off and you still try to force the content and just some part of it doesn't hit the right way and it's not a good video. And I think that kind of happened with him where it was like it was the final straw got him banned. You know, so you know it is what it is, but after it happens, and like he said, he's like, you know what? Now I feel like it's like a soft. It's like a reset. You get like a mental reset from it. It's liberating, honestly. Like if you're having trouble making content, maybe just make an alt account, man, and just have fun with an alt account. It's very freeing.
I do have an alt account. I do have that. My alt account is honestly my favorite account because I can hop on there and say whatever I want to say, whatever comes to my mind. This is my what's it called? My event page. I can just say whatever, and it's really freeing. You know, I like it. I can't go on my main account and say what I say on my
No,
own.
you can't. No, you can't. You can't. When I got unbanned one of my times, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go do a whole series on universal basic income because I love universal basic income. I talk about it a lot, and I did it, and I got like no views. People hate it. They don't give a shit, and it's like. You know, when you're in that big account space and you're trying to grow, like, you can't put out content people don't like, unfortunately. But, like, But on my second account, like, I literally somebody asked me if I think I could beat up 5-year-olds, and I did a video on it. And I was like, yeah. I said I could beat up an infinite amount of 5-year-olds, because if I tell you the number 30, that means I think the 30th 5-year-old would topple me. And it's like, no chance. And for some reason, it just hit. Random shit hit. It hit. I was like 400K. Like, why? Why? But it's fun, because you just say dumb things, and then all of a sudden, you got, like, somebody looking at it. It's like, wow, this guy is an idiot. I love it. And then you get, like, you know, you hit a little bit of a trend.
I do. I think with the big accounts, you can't really diversify your content too much because, you know, TikTok in the algorithm that it has your channel in like a certain space, and that's the people that it pushes it out to. So if the people that you're pushing it out to don't like what you're pushing, then it's not going to grow.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like the same as if it's like weirder. Like, oh, it's just, I know what you're talking about. It's so hard to articulate. Because I know what you mean. Like, if you have a ton of followers and you don't get traction on videos, it's, like, worse than if you have no followers and you don't get traction on videos. Because, like, they go, like, oh, this guy's irrelevant now. Like, having a lot of followers means, like, if your video doesn't hit, it hits you so much harder. You get knocked down the priority chain. And then the reverse is true for people with smaller pages. If they have a nice big hit, they get boosted. And, like, it makes sense, but it's like, damn, man. Imagine having, like... I don't know. Some of these people have like 20. Like, imagine being Charlie, 70 million, and like you have to make good content every time you make it. That's gotta be stressful.
I've seen some big like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million accounts, but their videos only get like 2,100 views.
Yeah, it's weird.
But
it's weird.
I saw the switch. Like they changed their content, and their views just went boom. And that's why I was afraid to change my content when I started getting more politics. I was like, you know, I love what I'm doing, but at the end of the day, I wanted to switch it up because it got tiring for me. But I saw what happened to those accounts. I was like, dang, if I do that, I really might lose my core following.
Yeah, right. So that's why it's better to just have fun on your alt for a while, and then, like, you know, eventually, if you could get like a video out every day or so, it's really not. Right now, I honestly think, and I remember hearing something about it. The new algorithm, newish because it's not that new now, is like really pushing people making fewer videos. It's very bizarre. It's weird. It takes so much longer. And you see it. You see somebody post a video every other day doing something dumb. So, like, you know, go for it. Just do head bobs and stuff.
After the bee.
Yeah, man. I don't know how you do it. Like, I don't know. It's weird for me because, like, if I ever did that, what is this old fat man doing? But then, like, you have all like these young girls, they can do it, and like it's because they're cute, and that's not like a weird comment. Like, it's just that they are dictionary definition, you know.
Yeah.
And so like they can do whatever they want, but it's like I got to make sure I got to do
I
something.
can't even get mad at them because it works. You know, if
It
I were a
does.
girl like that, I definitely would be doing the same thing. So I
It's
can't even
true.
get mad at
You
it.
got a good point, honestly. They're just using what the God gave them. Honestly, it's good for them. True. I mean, I guess I can't complain because like the beard, I feel like I have like an aesthetic aspect to my content that like is
Oh,
very.
father thing, yeah.
I feel like there are people who get a lot of shit that do very similar things to what I do, but they get shit for what they do, and I don't really get a lot of shit for what I do. I think part of it's just the stature, probably. People probably just don't want to like come after me for stuff.
That's what I've seen too. I think that's with me with the stuff I talked about. I see people get a lot of videos made on them, but I'd say similar or somewhat like same things. But I don't get a lot of videos made on me. I was like, I think maybe it's the how do I explain the the position I'm in certain subjects that I speak on. If somebody were to come against me on those subjects, it'd look weird. Like I think
Yeah.
I remember one girl. I think her name is Mo or oh I mean, my bad if I misgendered. Let me go back. Let me go back. It's
I,
a person that I don't know what they identify as, but they posted a video saying how if somebody says damn well they're gonna ruin their life. And I came on then I explained like if you're gonna do that, then I don't understand what's what's the end goal. And I saw somebody else post almost the exact same video as me saying like don't ruin somebody's life for saying the N word, and they got a ton of flack on it, but I didn't get a ton of flack on mine. So I was like, it's really weird. And
yeah.
I think it was funny. I saw it was funny. I think a white girl came on in the comments. It was like, you probably date white girls. I was like, you want to be honest? Which of us does that word affect more, me or you? So that might be part of the reason that I don't get a lot of videos made on me anymore. I don't get a lot of people responding to my videos anymore. Do
Yeah,
that
same
more.
here. Yeah, same here. And I feel like part of it too is like I don't know. If I was like presumptuous, I'd say that I've had a hand in chasing some of these weird arguments off TikTok. But then also there's something to like people aren't like listen. George Floyd's situation was a tragedy in my opinion. It wasn't necessarily race related. It was definitely indicative of police brutality. But like people rioted in my opinion because they weren't working and they had free time and they were getting money from unemployment and it blew up and it was like a lot of those factors. People weren't working, the situation happened, there was racial tensions, and like it never would have gotten that big. People on TikTok, same thing. They were bored, they're sitting at home, they had nothing to do, they weren't at work, so they were just shit posting all day. They're like, oh, look at this, and they were just like finding things to do. And I got lucky because on my job I didn't have to do a whole lot sometimes. Like I'd have like a few hours to just stick around and I would just make content at work constantly, especially at the beginning of the coronavirus. There wasn't a lot we could do. So like, you know,
It really
yeah,
gave us like the best time to grow.
yeah,
But then, it's a double-edged sword because once everything started going back to normal, we saw that content withdrawal.
yeah. But you know what? Like, I feel like you and me, like, we're the kind of people who could like. Because the thing is that all these niche accounts, because that's what they are, they're still staying with it until it hits again. They're just gonna keep what's the word I'm trying to say? They're gonna keep just snipping at each other until something hits again. Whatever. Me personally, I'm like, well, let's just stay out. Like, I just want to stay out of it. Like, I rather see if I could find a little bit of a different groove, which I seem to be able to do a little bit. And then if I don't, I'd rather just not make the content because I don't want people. I'd rather sit low for a few months until something inevitably happens, than sit here and like diminish my perspective on things. Because once you start making bad takes, people are like, what are you doing? Like, why? Especially with like content creators. I think like the both of us, like there's, you see a lot of content creators who just react to stuff based on how they feel. And like, I think that the two of us don't do that really very much at all. And if we started doing that, people would be like, gross. That's not why I liked you. And it's like, well, you got a good point. So
It's true.
it is true, but yeah, crazy fucking world, man.
It is. It is.
I don't know if you had anything you wanted to talk about, anything at all, any question or anything.
Let's see. It's question time with public.
Anything, even a topic. I keep my stuff so very like loose. You know what I mean? So like I don't really come in prepared. I just like talk. I don't like the debates. I hate debates. They're so lame.
Speaking of which, before I ask my question, I was supposed to debate Bosch. The
Really?
Bosch.
Yeah.
Yes. We were supposed to debate on. I think he took a stance that trans women should be able to compete in sports with no restriction.
Yeah, I disagree with
So
that.
we were yeah, yeah. So I was going to debate with him on that, and then as the date started coming towards me, I was like, "What am?" I was like, the debate. I don't like it because it wasn't going to be a discussion. I've seen Bosch. I've seen what he does.
Yeah.
It
It can be a
wasn't
little. It can
um,
be a little. Yeah, intense.
hostile.
I'd like to know what why though. Like, what could you possibly say? Why should trans women be able to compete in sports? They have a drastically unfair advantage.
Yeah.
They have.
No. Like, how do did I? Men transitioning into women should be able to compete in women's sports with no
Yeah,
restriction.
yeah. That's what
Yeah.
he said. He said that trans women should be able to compete. Yeah, look, trans women have an advantage over men. I mean, excuse me, trans women have an advantage over women.
Yeah.
100%. It's in. No, I don't know why he would say that.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you dodged it though, because I know I was talking to somebody and they had like brought up an article that's like it was like a scientific, very cherry picked that was like there's no difference between a bio. No, there is. It's a drastic difference. It doesn't matter once you get through your development cycle as a man. You have better hip flexion, you have better mobility, more muscle mass, broader shoulders, bone density. There's so many different things, and you become physically superior to women. On top of that, it's already very difficult to regulate steroid usage, and so now you have trans women who can simply take less estrogen, and that's their steroid. And versus a cisgender woman who doesn't have that same benefit. So it's not it's not a good idea. I don't know why he would take that perspective.
Yeah.
Although
So
he's a
I
little
was,
he's a little bit of a commie. He's a nice guy. He's intelligent.
he's cool. I've seen this stuff. He's cool people. There's people that really hate Bosch. Well, he's cool. He's a
No,
cool guy.
I'll tell you one thing.
But
His fans hate me. They hate me. It
why do
was
they hate?
I guess the way when after I did my conversation with him, and it was nice. We had a nice conversation. And then a lot of the people that I was friends with were listening, and they were watching the chat, and they're like, "Yo, these guys hate you." After I got off, it was to the point where Vosh had to scold them, and on my behalf, he's like, "You guys are literally nothing that you guys are saying is true," and he's like literally more of like a leftist than any of you guys are, because I sat there and we very loosely talked about my perspective on how to move forward. And I'm very much like a universal basic income guy, and it's like a much more progressive. I do consider myself like kind of a social conservative, but like it's a much more progressive solution than like anybody's talking about. And he's just, you know what I mean. And like my big thing was like I don't want to be communist because like we're not there yet, or that was my thing. Like we have to make progress before we decide that like everything should be a co-op and this, that, and the other thing. Maybe in the future, but like we're not there yet. Small changes, man. Small changes, honestly.
Yeah, all those debates. There was a lot of debates, but then there was a debate that happened with the ooh, who are they? The POC politics. I saw that debate. Happened with,
The Hype
I think it's
House.
yes, the POC politics versus the conserv. What was their name? The social no, social liberate.
The Libertarians.
Yeah, it was. I think it was like POC. I think one of the guys debating against them was like Alex Debates or something. I saw all that debate, how that went down, and then I saw Tyler Bluntman and I think his name's Jace.
Mm-hmm.
That whole the conservative hype house versus I guess the Democratic hype house. I think it was. I saw that and I was like, this doesn't look enjoyable. It doesn't look enjoyable. I guess for some people they like to argue. But that's just not me.
You know what it is? It's like
Right.
debates. The difference to me between like a debate and a conversation is like when you go into a debate, like you know what the other person is saying, if it's right or wrong. You're just using as much cherry picked evidence, and you're trying to disprove each other on stuff that's really just stupid, rather than like acknowledging it and like moving on. So it's like you get in these conversations, and they'll debate whether systemic racism exists for like half an hour, and it's like not for nothing. Like I believe it exists. At the very least, like there's an echo from the past that is certainly having a negative impact on us now. But who really cares? Like, I know that sounds like a weird take, but it's like, what's the solution? Because most of these conservatives saying systemic racism don't exist, they're the same people that are saying, like, yeah, we have a class issue. So what's the... And in my opinion, the best way to deal with systemic racism is to provide opportunity to areas. So how do we do that? And it's often the same solution. The solution to the class issue is the same solution, in my opinion, to, like, a race issue. Because if you provide opportunity to these people, it's going to take a while, but give them a generation or so, and everything will be more equal. But, like, you know, nobody... When you phrase like that, they start to go like, oh, that makes sense. But most people don't care. They're very... they're just very wrapped in, like, such small things. Like, God forbid systemic racism existed. Oh, goodness, that, like, shatters for the conservatives. Oh, it's just so silly.
I've seen a lot of people, like what you... I think... what was the guy that you... what's his name? I forget what his name is. But... he went on record saying that he cares more for the issue and raising awareness rather than the solution. I forget if you remember who I'm talking about.
I don't know.
But I think you posted a video like that, like back.
Oh, I said that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't know if there's somebody. No, I say I care more about the solution than bickering about, like, you know.
No. Some guy said he cares more about the raising awareness about the issue rather than the solution.
Oh, okay.
Like,
do you know what the guy looked like?
He was a white guy, skinny. I think his profile picture, I don't know why, but I remember his profile picture is like black, white eyes, something like that.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I know what you're talking about. I just can't put the person to it. Was it like a young gay kid?
Yes.
Oh, Alaskan boy.
Yes. That was him.
That sounds about right.
People, during that whole debacle, people really just care for the issue. Like, I remember I came on here and I was talking like solution. I was talking about if you do this, then we can get somewhere. But I really didn't see a lot of people talking about what we can do to move forward with this, because we understand whatever, whether or not you believe the stuff was race related, whether or not you believe what stuff is happening is important. If you bring solutions, people are more likely to help with you because you have actually something to bring to the table rather than just talking about the problem. And so I came like, I want to talk solutions. I hate when people just talk about problems. And so I just saw a lot of people talking about all these problems, but nobody bringing an actual viable solution. Yeah,
no, that's why it felt like everybody was just cloud chasing over like BLM for a while. Like, they just felt like it was a huge thing. A lot of them spiked over that time, and like it was it. Like him, Fat Raccoon did. To her credit, she has different content now, but she's really just like the Black Emma Lou. I don't know.
You saw what happened to Emma Lou, by the way?
Again? What happened?
Yeah. She got put out by Cardi B. Cardi B tweeted like Emma Lou posted a video about Cardi B basically saying, like, you know that WAP song?
Yeah.
And they said her who Punani's like Dasani, and then Emma Lou came and was like, you know, Dasani's bad and all that. And then Cardi B posted on her Twitter saying, is this you? And then posted a video of Emma Lou, you know, saying the N-word with the hard R. And she was like, this is what you get. I mean, this is what people follow you. Like, you're a person who masks to love black artists, but is a real life racist. I was like, oh my god.
That's rough. But not for nothing. Cardi B did that? Or Nicki, who did that?
Yes, Cardi B did
Cardi
that.
B is, I believe she is, not to be triggering, she's like I don't want to say the word on Twitch because I'm trying to get partnered. But like, she has sexually assaulted men before. Yeah. So what position is she in? Not for nothing, but like, you're like, yeah, Emma Lou said something. I don't think Emma Lou's racist. Emma Lou lives on Long Island. People know now because of my P.O. box. I live on Long Island. It's a weird area. It's a very heavy mix between everybody, and like not just race wise, but economics. Like I do decently for myself, and like at the end of my block is a halfway house. We're very mixed in every capacity, and like stuff like that's just for some reason so normal, and like it's I don't think it comes from like a place of like legitimate racism, and she was a kid, you know what I mean? Not to defend her, but I don't think she's a real racist. I think that she's an idiot. That's it. But like, I don't know how there's a difference between, I don't know. I don't think you can accidentally drug men and assault them. You know what I'm saying? She's Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, objectively worse of a person.
I was looking, I was like, you know, you have a point here, but like, Cardi, look what you've done in your past.
Yeah, no, it's just the shocking. It's like, oh, we got Emma Lou. I would defend Emma Lou to Nicki Minaj. or Cardi B,
Emma
whatever. I
Lou,
don't care. I don't care.
Emma Lou, I think I went against her one time when she was talking about the people on Twitter making fun of her appearance. I was like, well, you did the same to Nick. And I remember when the whole
She
Nicki
did.
stand flooded my stuff. I remember I went against her one time, but after that, I left her love because I really don't think she's racist or anything. Racially ignorant might be the word, but not
Yeah,
racist.
for sure. She's stupid. She's definitely like
Yeah.
racially ignorant. She definitely doesn't understand what she was saying. Like she understood, but like it's one of the it's one of those things where it's like funny, and like it's not funny, but like it's funny to people. Like and like she's a young idiot, so she's like haha like N word funny, and it's like I play video games, so like I'm part of that culture. When I was younger, I'm not gonna lie, like I did it too. Like I'm not proud of it,
I can tell you,
but you're just like, what's the worst word you can say? And back in like 2008, there were, it's all a bunch of stupid white kids yelling the N word at each other. It's not okay, but it's like it's not.
Those lobbies were-
Yeah, like the lobby, Call of Duty lobby. He's like one of those historically terrible lobbies. I played Dota 2. Awful. We would say awful things to each other, and I'm not proud of any of it. I'm just happy that like I'm older and I didn't have to grow up getting recorded on everything. Honestly, not to out myself, canceling myself. I'm canceling myself
They're
before
gonna
you
go
can cancel
back
me.
and try to look for the Papa Gut lobby recordings.
I don't think that it would matter. I feel like I can't get canceled on that. I honestly because like if somebody's like, "Oh, is this you saying the N-word?" I say, "Yeah, it is." And I'm like, "It was disgusting," and I was a young idiot, and like I said it, and I don't think anybody would lose respect for me. Because I don't.
Cancel culture is. I don't think it really holds any power if you don't care.
Yeah, no. Especially if your followers don't care. I didn't amass my followers by like virtue signaling. I amassed my followers by being like saying like an honest thing. So they're not going to be like, "Oh, I hate Papa now." No, they don't care. They don't really care. Good or for bad. Oh well, whatever. So yeah, did you have any other questions or anything, or maybe there's any questions from these guys? It's very quiet in my Discord now. Very quiet in my chat now.
We take questions from them because I actually I want to get your take on UBI. I really
Yes.
do. I was so interested about you put me on UBI. I did my own research. I looked at it, but I want to get Papa.
I
Gut's
love
explanation of UBI.
talking about UBI. I love it. Ask me anything you want to know about universal basic income, and I'll do my best to answer it.
Alright, so, with the whole concept of universal basic income, what would you say to people who use, what was it? Was it Greenland that was the one that did UBI? Was it Switzerland, the one that went under?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, to be honest with you. Was there a place that used universal basic income and went under? Because there's like a place in Canada that used universal basic income and they flourished.
They flourished? Okay.
Yeah. My thing with it is like, I would focus more on like why did it fail? And it was probably, it can work. Like financially the money is actually very attainable, bizarrely. You'd be surprised. So like the cost of $1,000 a month to everybody 18 and older is about $3 trillion a year. And a third of a third of that money comes from getting people off of welfare, or even if they don't get off, you don't get the money. It's either welfare or UBI. So like you're factored in. So it's getting people on or off welfare. That's a third of it, and other programs. A third of it is the value-added tax at 10%. And then 800 billion getting people off of welfare. 800 billion, about 800 billion getting people. Getting money from value-added tax, and then there's another 800 to even 900 billion estimated generated revenue from just the amount of money flowing through the economy. So like we're from 3 trillion down to like let's say 2.5 trillion. So you got a 500 maybe 6 or 700 billion to deal with. It's a lot of money, but like it's not hard. It's not necessarily difficult to do. $600 billion. All of a sudden, you reverse Trump's tax cuts? We just cut 250 right there. So like now. We're sitting at $450 billion. It's doable, and then you can slowly scale back and cut. And honestly, we have an issue with the incredibly wealthy people in the United States. 1% of the population owns the 90% of the wealth. Getting them to stop dodging taxes, and like actually pay their wages will work. Like honestly, I think that you could really pay for it. And then people say, well, yeah, but it will inflate the dollar. People say, well, it'll cause inflation. The thing is that the inflation would specifically come from the value-added tax. There's an estimated inflation rate of about 6%. So like, which now if you're making $50,000 a year, you're now making 62.5 with like with a one-time surge of like about 6%. Now that 62 is worth maybe 60. So you're still making $10,000 more a year. And then the last argument people say is like, oh hey, but if everybody has $1,000, if everybody has more money in their pockets, then what's stopping corporations from raising the prices? And I say, well, I have two responses to that. First of all, there's people who say that a lot of times there are people who are for tax cuts. The same fundamentals apply. If you have more money in your pocket, they're going to raise prices anyway. So you're using that argument to demonize UBI when it applies to your solution as well. But then also, like, we have this bizarre mentality that we're so okay with corporations owning us. Like, if it works financially and everything else can work, and your only argument is, yeah, but if apartments will be more expensive, then we've discovered who the real problem is. And I like capitalism. I do. I think I like the fundamentals of people making more money for being worth more to society. But if landowners are going to arbitrarily raise the prices of their goods or of their apartment complexes, then clearly they shouldn't own land anymore. That's it. It's a simple solution, but we're so enslaved to the idea of corporations, but it doesn't have to be this way. I would just like a softer capitalism, like a person-first capitalism. Yeah, and somebody said, would past convicts be eligible for UBI? For sure. Why wouldn't they? That's the thing. When we have a recidivism rate of 78%. People come out of prison with no opportunity. If we take away their UBI, they're going back to prison. You're better off giving them a UBI so that they can stay out of prison. Because I guarantee you it would help lower. It helps. There's really nothing that UBI doesn't help. Honestly, there's nothing. There's really not a single thing there it doesn't have a positive impact.
I'm gonna look into it some more.
Yeah, look into it, man. I really thought it's like my conservative solution. It sounds silly, but like, I don't like feel-good democratic programs. I don't like universal education. I think it's better to just put money into a community first and let them decide on what they want to do with it. Because if you do that, if you give $1,000 a month to poor areas, it's going to lower their crime rates and boost their opportunity. You're going to see bigger corporations coming to those areas because now they're safer and people have money. You're going to see people being able to open up their own small businesses and actually have people work for those small businesses because they have an incentive to do so. And you have more spending. People have more money to spend on those businesses. And after they accumulate that wealth over a period of time, they can decide to raise their property taxes. Let them decide if they need education. But the money needs to come first. We have this idea that because New York has all this money, it must be because we're so smart. No, it's not. It's because we're so smart because we have the money first. We're a trading hub. That's why it is the way it is. So, I'd rather be a dumb, well-off guy than an intelligent, poor person. And because, why would you want that stress?
Let's see. I was looking at the stream and somebody said, Papa, if I remember correctly, Lazy said people shouldn't say the Chinese virus. You said you should be able to. Did that characterize you right?
Oh, are you asking me, did I say that you should be able to say the Chinese virus? Yeah. I didn't say that you should be able to. I said that I understand why people are saying the Chinese virus. It came from China. I made the argument that I made was we're at a point. The reason Trump was saying it's a Chinese virus is because there's nothing that we could do to China right now to hold them accountable for what they did. Because the only thing we could have done is sanction them, and we can't handle any of that. So I was saying that it's not racist to say Chinese virus. It's simply just like a social outlet, like lashing out at China for what they did wrong. I don't think it's racist. I think it's probably not necessarily helpful, but it's the only thing that we can do. Or ban TikTok. So ban TikTok instead if you don't like the Chinese virus.
I understood that. I get that. I think what I had said, I think this was the only point I ever. No, actually, it's like a couple. What I was explained to was like, it was normalizing the others, like the nasty underbelly of America. So I understand that too. So I understand why they say it. I don't think I'll be joining them in saying it, but I understand why they do it. And at the end of the day, I think somebody else said that we should call it what's the president's name? The Xi Jinping virus. I
know what you mean. Maybe they hit it up for like a month or so. They were saying that this was like an issue in December, even earlier than that potentially. This was on NPR. It's like they really tried to cover it up. Like they
back in like November, it was like the first cases hit, and then they had information on it this whole time.
Yeah, no, they were killing people. They were forcibly quarantining people and killing them, and they killed a doctor who tried to speak up. Like legitimately, this was on NPR. Like there was a doctor who tried to speak up on the coronavirus and say there is an issue, and they ended up killing him. And like it hit news. People are demanding like a memorial for him, and it's like they really went hard. Like they were people really under a lot of like progressives in the United States really blamed Trump, and like he could have handled it better, but for like a really China really showed like the ugliest part of themselves during this whole entire thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's messed up. It's just messed up, man.
You take some chat questions?
I usually I'll see if anybody has anything to ask. They don't really have anything to ask. Half the time they don't ask anything. This President Cactus would like to know what your opinion is on pooping. If you would like to answer that question.
Amazing pastime, great TikTok video.
Yeah, right. Who the hell is Jacob Blake?
Oh, that was the guy that reached into the car and the police shot him 7 times in the back.
Oh, I don't know anything about that situation. They asked your opinion on it. I have no opinion on it. I don't know if you've educated yourself on it because I haven't.
I've seen the video. I've read some articles. I've tried to step back from everything, to be honest with you. But from what I understand, is that he went to go break up some fight, and the police showed up and asked him some questions. He had an arrest warrant out he had a warrant out. So they tried to subdue him. He wasn't going. He tried to go back to his car and apparently reach for something, and that's when they shot him.
Mm.
So as it stands like that, from my understanding, it looks like everything's justified. But some people have different opinions on that. The riots are happening in that area. But as it stands right now, I've always thought that there should be more levels of escalation than just from taser gun. You feel?
Yeah, I understand what I'm saying. The whole thing, it's such a complicated thing. I know, I believe you. I agree with you 100%. Like, we need better police training, but there's like these situations where it's like, like that. From the way you explained it, like, I hate to be that white guy, but it's like if you'll just listened. I'm not trying to be a dick. It's
I feel you on that one.
From the way you explained it.
Yeah.
From the way you explained it, it sounded like, why didn't he just... Because I've been arrested before, man. And I get it, I'm white. Maybe they treated me better, whatever. But, like, I did something wrong and they arrested me. And, like, that's life. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay. I said, can I put my shoes on? And they said, yes. So I put my shoes on, and then they arrested me. So...
And I always feel weird saying that, but it's not wrong. It's not a wrong thing to say, If he had just gone and he'd have been straight, but when you have a warrant out, you had to do something to have a warrant out.
Yeah, right.
Be very compliant with the officers when you have a warrant out. So when he went to go reach into his car, they're trained to neutralize threats to themselves or society, and that's what they did. He's not dead though. He's not dead.
Okay,
he's
that's
paralyzed.
Good. Wow, that's rough.
He still has life, but his life won't be the same. But as it stands right now, the officers will get off because it wasn't an egregious type thing.
Yeah,
the officers will get off, but I still think that this shines a light that there needs to be way more levels of escalation. Trump was saying that there are supposed to be new weapons of non-lethal force being brought, but I haven't seen them.
Yeah, it's interesting. Now that you bring it up, like nobody really talks about like non-lethal weapons. Like we're really good at creating weapons that kill people, but we don't care about weapons that don't. I don't know. Why not shoot somebody with like a dart, like a sedative dart? Honestly,
that was it. I don't know. I just don't see. I don't understand why it's a straight taser gun. That seems extremely archaic to me. I don't.
Yeah, and it seems like tasers don't literally always work, and people might be like, "Yeah, but it might kill them if they get put under." But it's like, I don't know. Stop resisting. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's hard. They're gonna clip that. That's canceling me. That's right.
I'm a racist.
All I have to do is be more. All I have to do is be more conservative, and I'm a flat tax guy now. Flat taxes, less taxes, and then I'm fine. All I have to do is be more conservative. I'll survive the racism train. So anyway, do you play any games online or anything?
I think all I play no, not online. I play on my PS4.
Oh, okay. Because we're probably gonna play some games with it, and I was gonna you're welcome to join. But if you don't play PC, then I guess
I don't play PC. I'm gonna let you do man.
All right, man. Well, I'm happy we had this conversation tonight. I'm happy that you jumped in here and you're like, oh, let's do it now, because it was a nice conversation. I really enjoyed it, and hopefully we can do it again.
Anytime, anytime.
Yeah, man. All right, have a good one. I gotta go pee.
You too, man.
Take care, man. I'll have you again on soon.
All right.
All right, peace out, man.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.
Really quick, every single person in my f***ing chat and on my TikTok and this, they keep telling me to look at the door. They think that something's behind there. So I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna open the door, and then we're gonna see that there's nothing there, and we can all shut the fuck up, so you can stop spamming me about the door. Okay? All right. Nothing. Nothing in the door. You guys happy now? Are you guys happy about the door? Are you happy that we did that? Are you guys happy about the door? All right. We did it. Must have been a ghost then. Oh, you guys are such trolls. These guys are they're too much.